Hello everybody, welcome back to Commonwealth Flipper. We're headed to the Commonwealth cabin over here, and I saw a story the other day. It looks like Goodwill has finally gone too far for some folks. You won't believe this when I read it, and the reaction to it is crazy, but we've got a lot of great sales today too. Let's go take a look. All right, my wife showed me this story that I'm going to read to you today. It was a local story from a city. Well, it's not, it's about 20 minutes away from here. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. People who watch this channel are gonna love this. Or hate it, I guess, and that's kind of the point. Here is, I know a lot of you yell at me for selling Tupperware, but you know what? I don't care. This set right here, we bought a ton of it for 60 bucks. You might remember, we are already well in the profit off of all the pieces we've sold, and we have a bunch left. This one sold for $24.95 plus shipping. It's a nice little lot. It's got a couple yellows, some orange, some green, and a brown one down there. Nothing amazing, but when you lot them up, it makes it worth selling. $24.95 plus shipping. So when my wife showed me this, it had only been out for a few hours, and like I said, it was a local thing. And already had 506 comments, been shared everywhere. I'm like, I gotta read this thing. And I did. I'm gonna read it to you in just a second. Let me pull two more items. This is my mug area. And you'll see I've got a couple here because they don't fit down here. And it's how I limit how many mugs I get because they are slow sellers. This isn't exactly a mug. And it was a slow seller. It went off on a 30% off sale. So it's been around for probably, oh, maybe not quite a year. And it's, when I see stuff like this, it's hard to pass it up. Johnny Lee's Club, Pasadena, Texas. And Gillies Club right there. And it sold on sale $13.27 plus shipping. For those of you waiting for the store, you know, we had a goal, just for those of you who are new to the channel, for 2025, we want to sell 250,000 and do that on basically two platforms, although I'm picking one up from a third platform right now. And I'm going to give you an update on that. We were way behind, and we have started to gain on it a little bit. We're still behind. It'll be, I think what I'm going to do, my ladder's in my way here. I think what I'm going to do is give you an update maybe a week into the next month. So a week into February, I need to move this, but I've got one hand, so I'm going to keep going. Plus, I need to turn this light on. No, I don't. It's already on. And so I'm going to give you an update, but maybe the first week into the first week of February, we'll talk about January. We'll write the numbers down and give you an update. This item sold on Bonanza, and I got to remember to put those numbers in there too. And we've had some local stuff going on. And let me open this up and show you. This sold on Bonanza. And it's just, if you don't know, it's just a site that automatically takes stuff off of eBay and puts it over. There's not many sales, but there's also no work and cross-listing involved in it. And so we do okay. These three Weebles right here, there's a Mickey Mouse Weeble in there, a Donald Duck, and what's that one? That's a Goofy Weeble. You might remember I picked these up in a tin. I bought a whole tin of stuff, and it had a bunch of Weebles in it and a bunch of other stuff, and I paid $5, so we're well into the profit here. And these sold, like I said, on Bonanza. They sold for $24.70 plus shipping. I'm going to read you the story right here. And just keep in mind a little context. This is for my logo. This is about 25 minutes. This particular Goodwill is one I went to when I was a teacher. It was on my way home. And I went to it, other than the baseball season when I coached, I went to it probably 3 or 4 days a week on my way home from school. And then some years when I had planning and lunch together, I would go eat lunch somewhere else and stop in there for a few minutes, which I wasn't allowed to do, but I did it anyways. Just had a very disheartening experience at the Goodwill on Ward's Road. Dropped off a multitude of clothing, bedding, children's toys, and stuffed animals. As I was leaving via the back of the building, what I had just delivered was being thrown into their trash compactor. Very upsetting. My wife called and spoke to a manager upon my return, and she stated that they were understaffed and presently had excess inventory. Wished they would have told me that prior to my stuff just being sent to the landfill. The last time I will donate to this organization. And it was a flood of comments. Just trashing the Goodwill. Just terrible. Now, I'm going to actually defend a little bit of the Goodwill. You know I'm not a huge fan. And it really has to do with my local area. I hear a lot of good things about different places, and I'm not begrudging Goodwill some of the good things they do. For here, where I'm at right now, it's been getting worse for a long time. and we don't have much success there. But, you know, they're not in business to make me happy, so I get that. But this really set off a firestorm, and I'm just wondering if it's going to affect their donations or if they even care if they've got so much. And there's a lot of folks that's, you know, in our area, that stuff, if there's an excess, it goes immediately to the bins. There's no bins here. The closest bins to me is like an hour and something away from us, and I don't even know where it is to the north or to the east of us or to the south. It's just to the west, and that's the only one, and it's a good little trek. And I don't even think it's the same organization. I think, you know how there's different Goodwill areas. I don't even think there is one for our area. So I guess this is the solution to the problem. Immediately after the stuff comes in, it goes into the trash compactor. Holy moly, I can understand being upset if I was this lady. But I am going to give a little bit of a defense by reading some comments. But I got to pick stuff too, so we'll do one thing and then we'll read comments. After a few weeks of slow sales, actually the sales weren't that bad necessarily. The ASP was pretty low. We finally got a few winners in here, and tomorrow's, or 2 days from now's video is going to be crazy because the sales that came in today, there was some high price stuff. Sales numbers were about the same, but the profits and the gross number was much higher because we sold some good stuff, meaning, you know, not $13, not, well, that's not bad, 25. This is, I'm wrapped it up in this bag so everything will stay together. Pentax camera, I might just show it to you here if I have a signal when I'm editing. Pentax camera plus some other accessories, 22 1000 SLR camera, 135 millimeter lens, sold for $89.95 plus shipping. Now I reposted this on my Facebook page, so I'm gonna read messages from, hey, Turner's here. Yeah. Blue Ridge Mama had a minor emergency, everything's fine. Don't worry, we took care of it. Deborah here says, I had Goodwill tell me once that they weren't taking donations, so I went to the Salvation Army. At least they could have told this person. Yeah, that's a good point, you know. You know, if you're not going to accept it, you're overloaded, just tell people, right? They might get a little upset, but you won't get bad press like this. Jan says, Goodwill and other thrifts need to do a fill-a-bag sale. Overfilled $5 bag is better than paying to go to the dump. So, okay. Yeah, and that's where we're going to get into the conversation a little bit. Obviously, if Goodwill has bin stores around, that's where that stuff goes. The overflow, sometimes they sort it there and send this here, keep what they want. Just depends. But we don't have that here, apparently, at least not in this group of Goodwills. I don't know what they do, so I don't want to speak for them. But our Goodwill doesn't ever have any sale days. They haven't for years. I've seen people talking about this lately. And it's, you know, coming to different places where they don't have the tags and they don't have the daily, you know, the weekly stuff that goes on discount. They don't have senior discounts, military discounts, whatever. We have had no special days, no discounts for anybody in years here. And, you know, I don't know, it would be kind of cool. Even if it's one day a month where it's like a blowout sale or something, you know, that would be cool. But hey, it's not my business to decide. And let's face it, and I don't want to sound like I'm defending the Goodwill. I think they really screwed this up. And I think, you know, the stories I've read in the past, I think some of this stuff is a big issue, especially when they're charging ridiculous prices at a thrift store. In my opinion, ridiculous prices. Now, that's all, you know, in the eye of the beholder. I get that. And I'm not telling people how to run their business. But this can't be good. This can't be good for their image, at least in my opinion. But it would be nice to bring back, you know, sale days or different things that would really help. And some of you still enjoy those across the country. But this should go to show all those people out there who, and you'll see these comments in a minute, who criticize the thrifters out there. Oh, you're buying this and you're selling it for a profit and you're an awful person. There is so much, y'all, so much. And I've just decided that I'm not going to go to Goodwills. I'll go to Goodwills every once in a blue moon. But I should have brought this hat out that a gentleman gave me, and your name kind of slips my mind. Better me than Goodwill. And that's the way I feel about garage sales, because a lot of stuff that doesn't get bought at the garage sale goes to the Goodwill. And I really think that in a reseller's mind, finding the stuff before it gets to the Goodwill is the goal, right? They're finding it, sorting it. They're not paying for anything, and they're making money for their charity, for whatever. That's their business. But man, I would like to get in on that before it ever gets there, before it gets to the landfill. And let's just face it. When we buy things in bulk, we get rid of things too. At least I do. Not a massive amount, You know, some of it, if it's donatable, I'll donate it. I don't donate to Goodwill anymore, but we do donate to different places around here. But a lot of stuff I get when I buy it in bulk, a lot of it ends up in the garbage because in my mind, it is garbage. Another item went off on 30% off sale. It's Usher Raymond. I actually bought this at the Goodwill, believe it or not. I bought it in a bag full of stuff. This is the last time I went to the Goodwill. And this is on 30% off, so that'll tell you how long it's been since I've been to the Goodwill. $20.97. By the way, this is a good opportunity to thank some folks for joining Polish and Brush. If I would have just bought this, I would have listed it over there. We're trying to build a marketplace, and my wife and Dave's wife and Lady Arbitrage are doing it over on District. Go check it out, polishandbrush.com. It's in the building stages, but it should be fun. It is all about beauty and perfume and jewelry and all that stuff, and the lady stuff out there. So it should be fun. It's growing slowly, and we're hoping to give it a big push. So go join it. You can be a founding member over at polishandbrush.com. Pamela says, I donate to AmVets for veteran services and to Restore for Habitat for Humanity. No more Goodwill for me. And we, you know, I get that a lot when I talk to folks and I criticize Goodwill around here or whatever. And I'm not really. Look, it's their bit. Do what you want with it. But it's disappointing to me that I can't source there like I used to and have fun. We can still source there, but it's just not. You know, I used to go there and fill up a grocery cart full of stuff and sell it. And now it's like, yeah, you might be able to find one or two pieces. So, but people criticize me for saying, you know, well, why don't you go to this place, or I go to Savers, or I go to, you know, I don't know, what do they got? DI out there. I go to the Salvation Army. We don't have any of that stuff around here. We don't have any of it. It's Goodwill or some private little thrift stores. That's all we have. So I would go to other places, but I can't. And we do have Restore, however, and I have been there a few times. I didn't have much success, but I have been there a few times, and they don't take everything, I don't think. Let me know what you have in your area. Are you still donating to the Goodwill? Are you only donating because it's convenient, or are you dedicated to their mission? Looks like these shelves are getting a lot of action today. Tiny Toon Adventures. This is the kind of stuff I just can't resist grabbing, especially if it's at a place where it's, you know, you do a buyout or something and you're grabbing everything worth value. 1991 Tiny Toons, little cup thing for the bathroom. $10.50 plus shipping. I'm not done with this story. I got a few more things. Plus, I want to read some of these comments. I think a lot of them are smart and good, but I got to give a shout out to Cheryl after I pull these items, and I'm glad they sold because these are awesome. I was shocked they didn't sell at Christmas. And I may have to actually show them to you. Maybe I can take the box off. I'm trying to think. There might have been 2 lots of these. I'm going to show them to you on a picture, and let's see if they're... I'm pretty sure there's 2 lots of these right here. I always loved these ornaments when I was a kid. And, yep, there's 2 boxes. $29.95 a piece or something like that. And I'm going to read you the message. And this one's headed to Cheryl. And Cheryl, I think you bought from us before. Hi, Kevin. Can you combine shipping on these 3? Absolutely. If I forget, by the way, definitely remind me. I usually do pretty good. Like, as soon as I turn this camera off, I'll write myself a note and I'll do it when I ship them. I've been eyeing these for a while. Love your videos and appreciate all the information you shared. It is my hubby's birthday soon. It would be great if you will do a happy 60th birthday shout out to Ben. Thank you, Cheryl. Ben, happy 60th birthday to you. We appreciate you. We appreciate Cheryl. I don't think she bought these as birthday gifts for you, though. So hopefully she gets you something else. Thank you, Cheryl. 5%. So you used code Commonwealth at least. So that'll get you 5%. By the way, that's true. If you use the link to the store below and you want to buy anything, you can always put in code Commonwealth. You can get 5% off. Lynn says, Goodwills in Southwest Florida regularly have 50% off sales on holidays and 40% off customer appreciation days. Shopped at the sale yesterday and the store was full of people filling their carts. The staff is just bringing out new items. That's the way it should be. That's what she says. I agree with you. I don't know. If mom and pop thrift store owners out there, if you're watching, to me it seems better to put lower prices and to just have that place busy and stuff going. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're making so much money pulling the good value and selling it on their own marketplaces and then doing the bins and reducing. I don't know. To me, more product going through there at lower prices is better for everybody, including Goodwill. I could be wrong. Obviously, you know, they think I'm wrong because a lot of them aren't doing that. So, Lynn, I agree with that one. I'm going to read some more, but I got to keep picking. All right, I am in the other shed, and it is a disaster, y'all. I'm sorry. I try to keep it clean in here and in the other one, but sometimes there's one. This, ooh, I don't want to break anything here. We put a lot of glass. Oh, boy. I think I can get this. We put a lot of glass in here to make sure that we don't transport it too much. As you can see, we've got some glass there. There you go, Dave. And then we've got glass up there as well. Speaking of Dave, sorry, I turned my heater on. Come on, y'all. Come on in. I know you want to. I was down in Florida, and he, you know, he lives in the land of milk and honey down there, so he has more than he can handle. And so he went out one day with us, and he just like, I'm not even bringing my camera. I'm not buying anything. And he just was handing me stuff. That was one thing he handed me. I never saw it since he handed it to me. I packed it away, got it home. My wife listed this, and it sold pretty darn quick. So I think she underlisted it for sure. But whatever, 15 bucks plus shipping. My wife just sent me an update to this story, and I was reading it just a second ago. This should be fun. And I'm going to read a few more comments, then I'm going to read you the update and response from Goodwill. So this is a Gertie pin. I finally put these on 30% off. I never do that with these ET things, or hardly ever. But I'm like, you know, we have so many, what the heck. And a big shout out to my buddy Ivan, who gave these to me years ago. Bought some, I think, and then gave some. I can't even remember, but Ivan, you're awesome. This sold on 30% off. $4.19 plus shipping. So if you ever wanted one of these, we've got tons of different styles. They're about as cheap as they've ever been and cheap as they ever will be. Gertie and ET, $4.19 plus shipping. I could read these all day. I'm not going to, but I'm going to read a few more here. Dave Tucker, Goodwill near me. I'm just reading in order, so there's some crazy ones in here. Goodwill near me will restock the shelves with overpriced items when they don't sell, rather than lower the price. I gotta let the dog out. You just want it in here. Now you want out, and you want back in 2 minutes. Rather than lower the price, they will go through regularly and throw away everything, including clothes, furniture, whatever. They treat vintage merchandise as if they were antique collectibles, and way overprice the items, selling Dollar Tree items triple the price. Okay, well, I mean, at some point you got to clear out stuff that's not selling, so you got to figure something out to do with it. That is definitely, you know, I mean, if you overpriced, I understand what he's saying. You know, you could take all this stuff, and that's kind of what the bins process does, right? The stuff that gets picked over. But as a lot of you bins people know, a lot of the overflow, before it ever gets sorted, it all goes to the bins and not in the store. So it's not a perfect system, and you'll see that when you read the response. When I read the response from Goodwill. Let me read one more. Anita says, that's why I prefer to donate adult clothing to nursing homes, or children and women's clothes and toys to shelters. Barbara, check with a woman's shelter first. I learned that donating clothes here needed original tags, and that women could shop and pay for items. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, there's a lot of organizations who do take donations who also get rid of stuff because they get overwhelmed or things that aren't appropriate. So, you know, we can only do the best we can as far as where we're donating to, but I can't wait to read. I might read one or two more here, but I can't wait to read Goodwill's response to this in just a second. My wife just sent it to me. I told you you'd want to come back in just a second. I forgot. We just listed this, and I didn't bring it in here. I need to do better, like, when I get done with stuff in there. Just bring it over, and I forget sometimes. This ink is nothing amazing, and it's expired. But it's still sold for $10 plus shipping. All right, I promise 2 more, and then I'm going to get to that response. But I just like so many of these, just different takes on everything, and it makes me rethink stuff sometimes too. So, Brandy, I have a local thrift that does everything $1 when they are overloaded. Goodwill never does anything like that. So sad. That's true. Not entirely Goodwill's fault, Eric says. They get inundated with clothing and consumer goods on a daily basis. Well, they kind of asked for it, just saying. This is a consumer problem. It starts with the very people donating those clothes. I guess me and you. Clothes get excessively bought from big corporations, and when they cannot be handed down, they're donated or worse, trashed. Yes, they should have suggested another place to donate, like Salvation Army, as an option, but this is consumerism. You want to help? Question mark. You don't need 10 pairs of shoes. Okay. I don't know. I don't think consumerism is going to stop in the United States anytime soon. And I don't have 10... Well, maybe I do have 10 pairs of shoes. I don't know. But just some interesting takes. I'll read you Goodwill's response right after one more pick. Y'all, I know you might get sick of my dogs, but check these two out right here. Your buddies, huh? They're brothers. Different litter, but your brothers. This one was in the eBay cave, and it had an issue with it. This is why it's been hanging around so long. It's sold on 30% off. And this one I bought in Florida over a year ago. I remember the people I bought it from. The reason I bought it is because they knew who I was. And so I was looking around at their place. If you're out there listening still, I just want to say thank you, because they told me, I was looking at it, I'm like, yeah, I should be able to do good on that. And they're like, hey, there's a couple issues. And I saw these issues here, right? But there's a hole in it. See that hole? And then, you know, the screen printing and stuff. So they're like, it is vintage, however. And they're like, how about $5? I'm like, yeah, I think I can do that. And we listed it out there, and it took forever and went on 30% off. Sold for under $30. But hey, you know, you got to be careful when you buy stuff with issues, unless it's somebody who likes to wear stuff with issues, you know, vintage type, but that's not this type of style of jersey. You want to wear it because it looks cool. So, but still, $5 into 30 almost, plus shipping. All right, so my wife sent me this response, or not response, she sent me this follow-up that was published in the same Facebook, Living in Lynchburg is what it's called. And, you know, let's face it, look, if you look at these Goodwills, I've known there's a trash compactor behind all these things. So you have to have an expectation that some things are going to go out. I mean, some people donate stuff so they don't have to go to the dump, right? And so I expect people who donate stuff, you know, I expect Goodwill and any other place to throw some of it out. I mean, some of it's just junk, right? And I know they've been talking about recycling and all this stuff that they do and investing lots of money, and I get all that too, so whatever, to each his own. But this is a little different, where you just donate a whole pile and it all goes into it, and that's a little shady. So here we go. We deeply regret the experiences that many in this community have shared regarding one of our Lynchburg stores. The reported incidents do not reflect our values or the standards we strive to uphold. We are taking immediate corrective action, including a thorough review of our donation practices and enhanced staff training to ensure protocols are followed. In other words, if you're going to do that, do it in the middle of the night where nobody can see it. I'm only partly kidding. We are committed to regaining trust in the Lynchburg community through improved communication and more consistent practices moving forward. Goodwill Industries of the Valley. I got to get to work, y'all. Hey, as much as I trash shoes because I don't love it, I sold some today. These are some pink Nike Air Zooms. They look like they're brand new, which is probably why I bought them, because I didn't have to clean them. $45 for those, plus shipping. 2 orders to pull right here. They're separate. I gotta find the right one. I'm looking for a Sting, and that's not Sting. And these don't go for much. $7.66. There it is, right there. There's the Stinger, and then a Scooby. I think it's here. Same price on that one. So these are low dollar sales, but we sell them all the time. Before I forget, the winner for the 80stees.com t-shirt giveaway, it was a couple videos back. It had, what did it have on it? Cringer. And you had to put Masters Universe or He-Man down below. Pupster Picker is the winner. Send me an email at commonpicker@gmail.com. Y'all can check that link below. Code Commonwealth, 30% off. All right, we are in the eBay cave, and you might remember me buying all that printer ink and those big giant cartridges and stuff at that one sale. They had a Zebra printer, but it didn't have a power cord, untested, nothing. So maybe I should have taken the printer paper out of there. So I sold as is for $45 plus shipping. You know, tested work and everything, you get a lot more money for that. I know. I should have got everything and tested it and taken the time. I could have got a lot more money, but you know, I paid $5. So 5 into 45 plus shipping, easy and quick. Hey, look at this. I sold some more Tupperware. Super cool. It's not much, but it works. This one right here, this orange one, or excuse me, this yellow one with a green one inside, sold for $15 plus shipping, and that was quick. So what do we get? $40 for those two? And like I said, I paid $60 for literally 6 giant trash bags full of stuff. Now, there you go. This goes back to the story. I threw away a good bit of that. if there were issues with it, there's a lot of it that I threw away. I also donated quite a bit of it as well. And out of those 6 bags, I am probably going to sell 3 trash bags full. I've already sold all the lids that weren't matching to any of the things. We already put those on shopcommons.net and sold them off to somebody pretty cheap. They're going to make some good money on those lids if they take the time to list them, which I didn't want to do. I knew I was going to make my money on this other stuff. And I'm probably already, between that sale and the Tupperware I've sold out of that lot, I'm probably around the $80 profit mark already. And still have probably, I don't know, 75% of it left. And I sold another hat. This one is a Cleveland Indians hat. What are they called now? I don't even know. The first team I ever played on in Little League that was associated with a major league team was the Indians. And so I have fond memories of that hat. And like I said, spring training is around the corner. And this is a spring training hat. I lost the footage for this video. I don't know what happened to it, but it just didn't record. It was a funny one. The guy wanted $5 for this hat, and I wasn't going to pay $5. And I bundled it with another one, and I still couldn't get a discount. And I just said, all right, thanks. And I was nice and cordial, and I walked away. And while I was walking down the driveway, he's like, all right, let's do it. I'm like, sweet. So I think I paid $3 for this one. And it wasn't huge, which is why I didn't want to pay $5. $16.10 plus shipping on discount. But, you know, it was pretty darn cool. So I'm glad I do it. It's Twins Enterprises, and it was a special one for Spring Training 05. Like I said, I remember playing, plus Major League, you know, when I was a kid, but I played on that. And we used to get little patches of Chief Wahoo right there on our stuff if we did something good. I was like 10 or something. No, I wasn't even that old. I was like 9. Coach Avila, if you're out there still listening, hope you're doing well. Hopefully you're alive. Some of my old coaches, you know, my old buddies send me messages. This guy passed away and this guy... It's sad, but those were good times. California Street and Ukaipa, we had some great baseball teams. I played with your son, Darren. He was a heck of a left-handed pitcher. And he played on our state championship team years later, which was cool. Why am I doing this? All right, y'all. Poncho's been a not very good boy. Fighting with Wallen and trying to eat a sticker. What do you got, babe?
Nancy got a CWP sticker and a black light.
CWP sticker and a black light. Thank you very much. And if we can... make sure the dogs don't eat them. They're headed your way.
Bye. And don't forget to get your stickers at CommonwealthPicker.com.
Now I got to show you this. 501 Picker sent me this one. How cool is that? A Commonwealth Maryland plate. That is so very kind of you. I've got to find a place to put that. And this is one of my favorite signs. A viewer sent me that. That was incredibly kind. And I don't really have too much space. I mean, I have bigger spaces, but that's not exactly license plate space. I could put it back there, but I don't know if I like that either. Maybe I'll just take one of these down and put it up. Y'all tell me, where should I put that? I could put it out in the other shed. I could save for the eBay cave when it gets redone. I could put it here, I guess, down here, but then nobody would see it. I don't know. Tell me what you think. One more thing I want to say before I got off of here. Dibdid.com, just thank you to everybody. It is growing like crazy. The live selling for most folks has been an amazing success. It's been fun for me to watch people who have a hard time building their own audiences, tapping into my audience and Dave's. And I know everybody's not over there. Live selling's not for everybody. I mean, there's static over there too, but the static sales are, you know, kind of sporadic. And I'm just so thankful. I've enjoyed so much building these marketplaces. And here's another thing. Lucky 7 is over there with us now. We're doing coins in there, which is really cool. And thank you to everybody who's been buying. I've been selling coins, and I don't even know anything. And baseball cards. I don't know anything about that. Look at that little box right there. That box right there is over $500 in sales in one day, which is really awesome. And I need to pick it up over there because we're way off our mark. Just a reminder, the goal is $250,000 in sales. Basically, on eBay, I'd like to hit 150,000 on eBay and 100,000 on district marketplaces, especially Dibdit and Shop Commons. And we're behind on both. But that was a big, big plus in getting me a little closer to the numbers that I want to get to. So thank you for everybody who's joined us over there. And we have other ones now, Polish and Brush, and we have all kinds of different things. Somebody asked me the other day if I'd ever stop selling on eBay. And I said no, and then I thought to myself, well, of course I will. Someday. But it's not my intention. I just love it too much. This is just cool. I've been down here all day doing work. I just love being down here. I've been able to go out and play catch with my boy, and he's been hitting into a net, and we set the net up, and it's all right here in my backyard, and I'm just so grateful for all of it. So I wanted to say thank you to everybody out there who supported me and allowing me to live my little miniature dream in my backyard. I really do appreciate it, and I can't wait to see you next time. All right, y'all, the dogs love Turner. Y'all, stop. We're trying to do a show here, y'all. Stealing the show. Turner, I'm proud of you. Turner went out and put up, I said, hey, you put up as much as you can out there of this new net that he has. And only ask me for help if you need help. And that's exactly what he did. And he only asked me for help when he was too short to get it, which is sad because I'm kind of short too. All right, what's your joke?
Why was the duck a good detective?
Why was the duck a good detective? I don't know why.
He could always quack the case.
Very good, buddy. Thank you.
Bye.